Is there more to midlife than just getting through it? Absolutely. Welcome. I'm your host, Debbie Cunningham, jazz artist turned midlife mentor, and I'm here to say to you loud and clear, it's time for your Midlife Crescendo. Well, hey friends, welcome back to the last episode of Midlife Crescendo in 2024. I do apologize, we skipped a week. Unfortunately, I have had several viruses back to back, as you can hear in my voice. I had to cancel several interviews and be patient with myself as I was recuperating much slower than I wanted to. Last week, I just couldn't rebound enough to do the episode. The truth is, there is a lot in life we just don't have control over, and we must learn to go with the flow, whether we want to or not. Something I am continuing to learn, it seems, but also something I am better at now that I am in midlife and have years of practice behind me. So Dr. Kaylee's topic of Hashimoto's and thyroid health will now be pushed to season 2 starting in January, but it's definitely one you'll want to look forward to. I do want to say thank you for listening this year. I just found out that Midlife Crescendo is in the top 10% of podcasts for midlife women. That is so exciting considering we are just 1 year old, and this is our 50th episode. So today I want to wrap up season 1 and all of our holiday topics with one that is very dear to me, Christmas as the Heart of Emmanuel. At the heart of Christmas is a name, Emmanuel, which means God with us. In the Bible, in Matthew 1:23, as part of our Christian Christmas narrative, this name, Emmanuel, was spoken by the angel to Joseph. It reminds us that the birth of Christ is more than just a story. It is God stepping into our world to dwell among us. It's the creator of the universe coming to earth, not as a distant deity, but as a loving Savior who longs for connection and redemption for his people. Jesus came to show us how to live, to love unconditionally, to serve selflessly, to walk in faith and humility, to love God with our whole heart, and to love others. He didn't come with pomp and grandeur. He was born in a humble stable, teaching us that in our simplest, most vulnerable moments, he is there with us. His life was a living example of grace, forgiveness, and the ultimate sacrifice. And when he came into the world, it was a time not so different than our modern society. There was political and social unrest. The Jewish people were being oppressed. There was a deep longing for God's intervention. The people needed hope then, as we need hope now. Sometimes it's easy to lose sight of the true meaning of Christmas, isn't it? With all the crazy hustling and bustling. In everything we do in this season, may we never lose sight of the wonder of that first Christmas, that God loved us so much that he came to earth as the Christ child, a baby, to show us by example how to grow and live and reflect the Father's love in the world. Emmanuel, God with us. In the joy of gathering with loved ones or the grief of missing those we love, Emmanuel, God with us. In the quiet moments of prayer and reflection or the busyness of work and family and one more thing to do, Emmanuel, God with us. And in the act of showing his love to others through kindness and generosity, or when we are the ones in need of that generosity, Emmanuel, God with us. No matter where we are in this season, may we remember that we are never alone. Emmanuel, God with us. He is here, inviting us to follow him, live by his example, and carry his light into the world. I hope these next few weeks are beautiful for you, that you will find time to connect with the Spirit of God, the Spirit of Emmanuel, God being with us, that you will feel His presence, His love, His forgiveness, His grace surrounding you this holiday season, even if you have never felt that before. You can learn more about Jesus' birth in Luke chapter 2 in the Bible. It is true, Jesus came into our lives, not to condemn us, but to save us. His birth was just the beginning of that kind of love bursting into our world, bringing peace on earth and goodwill to all people. Merry Christmas, everyone. We'll be back January 13th. Thanks for tuning in today, and remember, midlife is just a brand new season to find your passion and purpose for your grand finale.